Okay. Okay. See, let me take a new example to understand this. Right. Now we are trying to, we will just send one request and we will write a code to get a response, and that response is again getting redirected to some other page. Right. For that, usually we create new dynamic project, and the name of the project is going to be, let me take it as absolute. Why absolute? Because it will be displayed in the top. Next. So please ensure that every time when you are, keeping a project name or trying to open a new project, create a new project, ensure that you are checking this box. Don't click finish directly. So our project is on top of this list. Now HTML page. So right click, new. You have to do what? HTML. Index.html, a meaningful name, or you can give any name. So to keep it simple, I'm keeping index.html. Okay. So simple instruction. So let me take a form. To save some time, I have already created a form. So this is the form, and the action is going to be search. Right? Inside the form, if you find action, right, please ensure that you are giving a meaningful name. Right? So here I am keeping a text field, and the name of the text field is going to be what? Anything you can keep, but now I am keeping. Please enter something. Right? And the value is going to be submit. Very simple form. So let us run this form to understand how the front end visibility is looking up. Run on server, localhost, finish. Simple. So this is when I click on submit, right? I should be directed to the Google page. When I click on submit, I will get a response, right? From that response, again a new request will be generated, and that request has to be redirected to the Google page. So how can we achieve that? Right, to achieve that we need a servlet class. For that I am creating a servlet class, right? Class. Package name form dot follow dot serve. Class name is going to be Google redirect. You can keep any name, but a meaningful name is always recommended. Okay, servlet class is created. So this is just a Java class. In order to convert this class to servlet, we will have to do what? Extend it to HTTP server. HTTP servlet. Okay. The simple Java class has become a servlet class now, right? And we need a method inside, right? So here the method is going to be public to. You can take any method, but you take Google get method itself. It's going to take void to get HTTP servlet request. Let us create request object, comma HTTP servlet response. Let us take response object. Code is going to be very concise and simple. So we have created two objects, print writer EW equal to response object dot direct writer. Okay. So our intention is to what we have to do the redirection, right? If you observe this code, you will understand. So by using the response object, I am using what send redirect method. Right? Inside the send redirect method, place in HTTP. Okay, let us take the input from the end user first. Because if you see this, right, end user is going to enter some information here. It can be anything. You say Java, that we need to catch this, right? For that, I am creating a string. Inside the string, I am keeping the name string name. I mean, variable name for the string is the name itself. And using request object, I'm trying to catch the field. I mean, catch the value that is entered by the end user. So get parameter. I'm using this method will catch the value, and here we need to give the name which was defined in this index.html page. The name is very big. Please say something. Okay. So whatever the end user is entering, that will be captured by this identifier. This name. The next line is going to be response dot using response object, and I am using send redirect method. So this time I am using Google website, google.com. Okay. I have saved this. So we have home page and we have something a kind of servlet. When the servlet is invoked, it has to send a response to the end user, and at the same time a redirection will be done to the Google website, right? So to achieve this, we need to configure web.xml file. So let me configure the web.xml file. Web.xml. So this is the web.xml file. We need to take two servlets. One is servlet and second one is servlet mapping. We have discussed this already in our previous classes, why servlets and why servlet mapping. So and again inside the servlet tag, we need to take two subtags. One is servlet class, I mean servlet name followed by servlet class. Servlet class. Right? And over here again two subtags, servlet name followed by URL pattern. So you can keep any name ABC, right? So the name that you are keeping here, the same name you should keep here because this will go together. Right? Okay. So servlet class very simple. Fully qualified name balu.com.balu.serve, right? Dot Google redirect, the class name, giving the absolute path, right? And the URL pattern, right? So when you want to define an URL pattern, please go to your HTML page, right? Copy this action, copy the field that is assigned to this action, copy the value that is assigned to this action, paste it in, right? And before pasting it directly, just use a forward slash and paste it. Okay, this is a URL pattern. It means when this page is called, after clicking on submit button, right? This URL, this endpoint will be added to the URL. Right? Let me save this. Let us rerun this. Okay. of the server. Let me run as on server. Uh, Server has started. Okay, if I type Java, see this is the actual URL. So, this is the actual URL. Right? After submitting, see it is directed to google.com. But I want this Java to be this value to be pasted here Java, right? The value in this field to be copied has to be pasted here. Right? How to achieve that? I have already have the URL pattern. See, same thing I am doing. Again, http://google.com coding. This is a query percentage q. I am using as q equal to, right, and I am appending this name. Just appending this name. If I do this, run on server. This is my own Google search. I can ask this page and I can say Java download, and I can redirect it to Google. Right? I want this download to be pasted here. See the query, it is taking as query. Right? Let us change this to as. I'm doing question mark. I will explain you this. Don't worry. Out minus unknown server. Google search Java download. This is our page, and we send a request to the server. And server will give a response. Give a response, and as soon as giving the response, it will do the redirection. Right? See, now the Java download is coming here. Now I can click enter directly. Right? Let me go back. Let me do something. Oracle download. I click here. You do not have to type anything here. I can just the value that I have typed here, same value is getting getting used over here. This is not the concept of redirection. Concept of redirection is opening the Google page is the concept of redirection. I have just hacked this query. If you see, I have just hacked this query. Same query I have used here. That's why we are getting this here. If you go back here, same question mark I have just hacked this and equal to. So this will ensure that the value that you are sending here in the home page, right? The same value will be transmitted to the redirected server. In this case, Google. Anything you can do. This is your own Google search. Right? So this is first project. Second project is we can also do like this. Right? Instead of search, instead of please enter your name, I can write like one. So h1 tag. Please select your bank. Please select your bank among these two. Among these two banks, or I can say among the Axis or ICICI. So when the customer selects Axis, should be taken to the Axis website. When the customer selects ICICI, it should be taken to the ICICI website. Right? How do we write code for this? Right? Very simple. So we are capturing the string. Let us say that customer is tapping Axis. Right? And I will be writing a query like if, right, name dot equals. If name dot equals Axis, I will give the URL for Axis bar. Right? Else if name dot equals ICICI, here I will give the URL for ICICI bar. Right? If there is a different name, right, I should enter something. Right? If there is a different name, we will use what? Request dispatcher. Request dispatcher rd equal to req dot get request dispatcher. So we need to show an error message to the end user. In this case, we need to ensure that the same page is getting displayed. Before that, there should be a message like pw dot please enter the valid banking name. Right? So include method I will be using. Why include method? Check the previous class. Forward method is going to dispatch the request to the next line, next servlet page. Include method will keep the control in the same page and the same index.html will be displayed. Okay, let us run this. Before running this, we need to ensure that the right path is given here. So we will try to get the right path. This bank website. This is the absolute URL for Axis Bank. Copying this. Where is it? If the user enters Axis, he will be redirected to what? Okay, let me. He will be redirected to Axis Bank, or if he is entering ICICI, he will be redirected to ICICI Bank. Apart from this, if he is entering any other thing, right, we should tell him to enter to correct him, to send an error message. This is the URL for ICICI Bank. So this is how the Amazon services will redirect our request for the payment page. This is a simple example, but they are very powerful. Those applications are very powerful, but this is the idea. Let us see if this is working or not. I have just saved this. Server is already running. Let us stop. Okay. Run on server. Finish. Okay, server started. Please select your bank among the ICICI or ICICI Axis. Let us take Axis. Submit. Okay, now we are getting an HTML page. Please enter the valid banking name. Okay. it should be caps. So to avoid getting an HTML page, we should do what? Set. There is a concept of content type, right? Set dot content type. So here you will ensure that the HTML instead of text, HTML page is getting displayed. Okay, let's run this once again. Run on server. Select your bank, Axis. We are getting Axis Bank. We are getting directed to Axis Bank. So this is what happens in the payment page. If the end user is selecting ICICI, right? ICICI Bank is getting this bank. Redirection. If the end user is selecting a bank like State Bank, right? Since we haven't configured the information for the State Bank, we have to get another. Please enter the valid bank. Right? This is how the concept of redirecting works. And this is a small application, tiny application, but you can do a lot of modifications. Modifications like, so here it has to accept if it is in caps or if it is in smalls. Either way, it has to accept. So in order to do that, we can actually do some modifications here. Name dot to lowercase, right? Name dot to lowercase dot, or I can do like this. So the name can be converted to the customer might be entering the uppercase or lowercase letter. Whatever he enters, convert that to lowercase and check equals. Right? Now this should go. Now we can enter both cases. So this is the modification that you have to do. Like you just optimize this code and create many servlets. Try to execute the output. This concept will help you to understand the future topics. Don't ignore, don't think that these are not important. These are very, very important. And also don't think that you can see this tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So when I should enter small letters also, it should accept. Right? Or if I enter like this, A, caps, small, should accept. So this is all about today, about the redirection. The conclusion is, the bottom line is, your request will be sent to the servlet. From servlet, the redirection happens depending upon the validation or the redirections. You send redirect method. This redirect method, right, will send a response first, and then the redirection will happen. Here the end user is getting to know. You observe this. I am end user. I am getting to know from where the request is getting redirected. I'm getting a response, and I get to know that okay, it is redirecting to a different application, which is Axis Bank application. Right? But in the previous case, the forward method, we will not get to know from where the request is going and all, but we will get a response. We are happy with the response no matter where the request is being forwarded. As simple as that. Is a plain conclusion. Right?